Hi families, Mrs. O'Shea here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to complete your assignments and the weekly assignments that you have to do in AE. So since we've started AE this week, thank you for all you've been doing. I think it's gone pretty smoothly so far, so we appreciate your help at home as we figure out this new tool and you figure out this new tool, and we're all working on it together. So hopefully this video will help you remember and see how to turn in assignments. So the first thing we're going to do is once you are logged in through Clever and you click on Accelerate, you'll come to this page and it'll also have your Encore classes. So scroll down until you see the ELA class, click on that, and it'll bring you to this landing page. Remember, if you're ever looking for anything, it is almost always right here in this landing page. Okay, so everything is linked in here. Anything that's blue is a link and you can record. And so you can see down here, this shows you, this is probably a new part to your page, that shows you what work we are looking for and when it needs to be done by. So we understand that, you may have a lot going on, you may not be able to do things during asynchronous time, that's fine. These days are kind of suggested times to chunk it out, but you can see you have up until the 13th to do this because we understand that you may need time to do it after school, maybe over the weekend. We're flexible in you completing that at a time that's more convenient for you. So the first thing you want to do, so we're going to do the story recording and Owl's Jam test. And the first thing is you probably want the story opened. It would be especially helpful for the kids reading the story when they're recording, and it is optional that you can use it if you want during the test. Okay, so you can see here I have a link to it in Accelerate, and it says it's on slide 5. You may also have a link that's a PDF, so it just kind of depends on how it's linked there. So when you click on that, you come down and you can see we're on 1 of 7. So you're going to keep going till you get to slide 5. And this will help you too if you're finding any of the games or things for may do activities. That you can scroll through and find what slide it's on. So we try to have that written for you. All right, so you can see here that it is the PDF version. So you can click on that and it'll open it up in the PDF. You can download that and print it. You can keep it online if you don't want to print things. Whatever works for you is good with us. So once you have the story open, let's talk first about the story recording. So you can just go ahead back to that landing page. Again, we have everything linked here for you so that you don't have to come down and go searching through all of the modules. So when you're ready to do the story recording, you can click on either one. It's the same link. We just have it linked there twice to give you the idea of what day and then what's required. And then one thing I forgot to tell you about this required work too is that this will start to switch over sometime between Friday through Sunday, whenever your teacher has a chance to update it. So that way, if it gets updated for next week, you can still access all the materials that you need down here. Okay, so when you're ready for the story recording, you're going to click on that link. It'll take you right to the page where you're going to submit it. So this is where you're going to open it, and this is where you're going to submit it. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to click on that record button, and it'll open an in-browser audio recorder. This is, I think, different than what you did last week. These are some ways, these just have instructions if you click on those of how to record these offline. It's probably going to be way easier for you if you record in this in-browser audio recorder. So when your child is ready, if you have it printed out, you can just click record and have them read off of the slide. If you're having them read off of the slide online, you're going to click record. Okay? And make sure your volume is turned down. If you heard maybe there a little bit, it started to echo. So if you get a lot of feedback, make sure that when your device is turned down. You can hear it's still recording my voice, but it's not playing that audio back. So that should hopefully help with any feedback issues where you're hearing a lot of noise. So that red little line means it's recording. So when you're ready, go ahead and switch over to the window. You would have your child read Owl's Jam. Okay? And make sure you hit the sight words too. So have them read their sight words after, as, over, better. And then you can go down and they can start reading the story. Owl is an alligator. If your child has any struggles, if they mess up, Owl is an alligator. right? That is fine. Those are actually very helpful because it will tell us where your child needs to work in reading and we'll know the best way to help them. So please don't worry about this being perfect. We would rather hear exactly how they would read on their first run through, right? We don't need to practice and go back and do more. Their first run through, read the whole story, the end, and then you switch back over and hit stop. Okay, so you can see that red line is gone. It's not recording anymore. You can see down here it's converting to MP3. So it does take a while, especially the longer the file is, the longer it takes to convert. So just be patient, give it some time. And that's why they have these suggestions down here about how to do these offline methods, because the longer the file is, the harder it gets to save and download. So if that does become an issue, you're welcome to try these. We're hoping to make this as easy as possible. And you can see I'm also having some trouble that it's not downloading. So if you want, you could try again. You could try recording in a different way. So if I practice again and I say record, I'm going to keep it really simple here to show you. Right, so it converted. So there you go. So they both showed up at once. It just kind of took a while. So you can see my 2 recordings, and that way you can test which one you are happier with. You can play them, and they should stay here until you click clear, or it would just stay in there while you're in that window. So when you find the one you like, you're going to click to the 3 dots, or sometimes called the snowman, and you're going to download it. Now mine prompts me to retitle it when I download. Yours may just pop up and you may have to open it to rename it. And when you are naming it, it would be very helpful if you have your students' first name, last name, and then the story that we're reading that week. Al's Jam recording, and save that. Right? Now I already did one, so I'm going to replace, that's fine. And that way, when you submit it, we get the audio recording with your child's name and the story, because we will probably be doing this almost every week. And that way we know it's yours and we know the story that it's with. So when that's done, then you're just going to come back to submit it. Now we can't walk you through that exactly because we can't log in as a student, and the teacher does not have the same access that the student does. But you can see submit my work here. So there should be some way to upload it and submit right there. And if you have any problems with that, you can email us. You can email us the recording if you can't get it through. But we're going to try to get it through here so that you can hopefully make this easy and get used to it and have a good routine for each week. Okay, so that is the story recording. The one other thing that we're going to show you is back here on the landing page is the test. Now for this first week, we're going to walk our students through the test with them, just like we would if we were in brick and mortar in synchronous time. We're going to show them the test, but we're asking that you still go in and submit all the answers so that your child can practice submitting them. Okay, so the test should be a little bit easier than the recording. You click on it, it'll take you right to the test. You click start when you're ready. There was the option to print it out too if you want it printed out so your child can do it on paper, but you can also do it here. So what did Al do at the end of the story? Al's Jam. So we read them the questions and the answers, especially for the first few weeks of kindergarten. First grade. So if you want to read it with them, that is completely fine. It is not expected that they would read that on their own now. So you can read it to them. They'll select whatever answer they want. If they're already able to read it independently, they are welcome to do that, but it is not expected. So you'll read, and I'm just going to click any answer here, okay? And then click next when you're ready. So it'll show you now you're on 2 of 4. So who are the characters in the story Al's Jam? Now I'm going to leave this one blank just to show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so let's say you were thinking about that answer, you looked, and you accidentally clicked and forgot to answer that one. Okay, so what was Al holding when he was chasing? Right, actually, we'll do that one so that we can show you what that looks like as well. And what did Al and Pat the Rat jump over? So go ahead and guess one again. And Okay, so it'll show you the green check mark shows that it's answered. You can see there's no check mark here for number 2. So I can click on that and go back and decide on one, and then next, next. So now you can see I answered all 4 questions. Everything's answered. When I'm done, I'll submit all answers. It'll ask you again, are you sure you're ready to submit? Because once you submit, you cannot make any more changes. So you submit it, it'll send it to us, and then it will grade it automatically. So if you get it incorrect, it will show you an X, what the correct answer was, and then how many points that is. If you get it correct, you'll see 2 green check marks and that you got 1 out of 1 with the points. And same thing again, you can see with the incorrect one. So it'll be right there, it'll submit it to us, and then that's all you need to do. So again, we know this is a new system and you're learning it, we're learning it. So if you have any difficulty at all, please don't worry. This is all these assignments right now are just so that we can figure things out, we can try them. Nothing is being graded yet. We're doing this as let's learn and explore, and this is what it's going to become later. So this is a good time to explore now and try and hopefully work through any problems. So if you have any questions, any concerns, any difficulties, please just contact your classroom teacher. Otherwise, thank you so much for all you're doing at home, and we look forward to hearing some of those recordings and seeing the test.